Good morning. My name is Mia Perkins. If we allow people to attend school in person this fall, will this lead to more infections in COVID 19? I argue that that would not be the case. Today, I'm going to try to persuade you that attending schools in person this fall is relatively safe despite COVID 19. Because COVID 19 only affects a very low number of young children, schools should open in the fall. Not so many may diminish the benefits in person learning and widening learning gaps between students. Students looking to attend school in person this fall should cost of not attending school versus attending school. Let's talk about why we should reopen school this fall. So first we're going to start off with COVID-19. COVID-19 causes upper respiratory tract illness. It gives symptoms of shortness of breath. You may have no taste, no smell. Also, you have chills, fever. The common flu symptoms also can cause deaths, especially in younger and elderly patients. Spread mainly from people to people, contact. So that's why in order to prevent COVID, you wear a mask so that way you can't breathe. Also, you have sneezes, coughs, and also it can be spread by people that who not do not have symptoms as well. Source says coronavirus disease 2019. CDC explains all the symptoms and how to prevent it also. Number two, simple methods for keeping one safe. You wash your hands often. That way you can get the disease off, or just wash germs. Just keep washing your hands after you touch somebody or touch anything. Avoid close contact. So we always want to stand 6 feet away, social distance. Of course, like if your family members, you don't have to stand 6 feet because you're like with them every day. But if you see anybody else, make sure you stand 6 feet away. Also wear masks. Source says coronavirus disease 2019, how to protect yourself and other people. CDC. COVID has affected younger population, and then out of 1,300, out of 136,000 or so deaths in the United States, less than 40 of those are under the age of 14, which is a good percentage. I mean, it's not necessarily good that we have deaths, but that's just the statistics of it. Um, More children die from abuse and neglect than COVID 19 each year, 700 to be exact. Source Hurley Dan. Why doesn't the U.S. have an accurate account of child abuse deaths? New Yorker. Benefits of in person learning from from attending school in the fall. You develop and social and emotional skills. So that way you develop social skills working with different people. It's going to be kind of hard to just work from home or like to go to school from online because you don't know how to, if you've never been to college before, how you going to know what college is like, or just anywhere, school, high school, anywhere. Kids have to learn in class because not many people can teach themselves, so they need assistance learning. It's also a safe environment for learning. Facilities and physical activities. You don't want to just stay in the house. That means that lead to all kind of disease, not diseases, but health issues, as obesity. You don't want to just sit in the house and be on a computer and eat and just stay in the house. You want to get out and actually do things, interact with other people. Even though there is just a pandemic going on around, you also want to be safe with that as well. So that's why you do the preventions to catch COVID-19. Source from that: the importance of reopening American schools this fall. CDC. Cost of preventing in-person learning may widen learning gaps between children of differences, races, and family income. Source: COVID-19 school closures and child poverty, a social crisis in the making. The Lancet.com is a journal. Should read that. Extra stress on parents from watching and educating kids at home, which is very understandable. Like the parent, it's not the parent's job to teach the kids over, certain material work because they may not know. It's been years since they've been in school, so they can't teach their child that new material and new information. So I think that is a lot of work for the parents because they need their time. They don't need to be at the kids don't need to be at home 24/7. They need to get out and experience how school is. Okay, even though some people may say, they shouldn't go to school because you see what's happening, people going back to school and catching COVID, more students. So this is what I'm going to tell you, like, this is the other side of the argument. Safety concerns and spreading the disease. Kids are very careless these days. Some kids do not take this seriously. So you may have the people at school that, are just very careless and they don't care about other people around them. So they may like not wear masks or stand close to them, not do 6 feet distancing. While students may be less susceptible to catching COVID-19, the same may not be said about teachers who are adults. You do have teachers and adults that are careless as well. They may not take it seriously and do the same. Teachers are probably against it because they have more worries because they're older. So and older people are more kind of affected to it. So that's why they're saying they don't really want to go back to school because what happens if they catch COVID? They may spread it to all the kids, and that's that. Budget cuts are actually forcing them to increase class sizes and reduce funding for safety measures for COVID-19 this fall. So that's a big issue. Source Sorkin Amy, The Complex Question of Reopening Schools, New Yorker. It's a magazine. Should read it. In conclusion, there are many benefits to in-person learning, and keeping schools closed in the fall can be detrimental for the education and development of younger students. So I do think, as long as we safe and follow the guidelines of how to keep safe and be, smart about the decisions we make during this time, I think it would be no problem to reopen school this fall despite COVID-19.